Hi everyone, it is a very common fault for people to fail their driving test for stopping at roundabouts when it is unnecessary. It happens all the time. Okay, so some roundabouts are going to be closed, which means you can't see. Maybe there's a fence or a bush or something in the way and you can't see to the right. We give way to the right at a roundabout, okay? If it's closed, you can't see to the right, of course, you're going to be approaching with first gear because we don't want any guess, luck or hope, and that would be dangerous if we came up in a higher gear because there wouldn't be enough time to see if we're safe to go. Of course, some of the roundabouts you need to use first, especially if you can't see. But if a roundabout is open, which a lot of them are because they are very, very clever. It's a very clever junction where multiple roads can come into one junction and perhaps you don't have to stop. I mean, how amazing is that when you think about it logically? There might be 5 separate roads coming up to a roundabout and there might be a situation where you don't stop. That's clever, right? So when we're coming up to a roundabout, if it's open and there's no trees on approach and you can see the roundabout clearly, there's a potential of you slowing down and choosing a lower gear like second. And in that time of lowering your speed down to second, if you're slow enough to analyse the roundabout, to look to see if there's an opportunity for you to go, and then to pull out, right? Now this isn't a briefing video, but you know that you need to give way to the right. If you need to have a look at the briefing video, maybe I'll link below in the description of how to do a roundabout, okay? I've made loads of videos about it, but this one specifically is how to approach the roundabout. I strongly advise that you approach gently and slowly, okay? So you've got time, thinking time, to see if you can go. If you approach the roundabout quickly, the only thing that's going to happen is you're going to panic, you're not going to know if you can go, and it's highly likely that you'd probably put in an emergency stop. This is not compatible with the person behind you because they may go into the back of you. If the person behind you's been on the road for years and they've analysed the roundabout behind you and they've gone, yeah, that person in front of me can go, and then you decide, no, I've not been able to work it out, and then you emergency stop, they might go straight into the back of you. Now, I appreciate that you may say to me, yeah, but that's their fault, and you're right, but you still haven't got a car. And there may be some kind of argument after that about the emergency stop, or there may be witnesses about it, and it's just hassle that you don't want. Come up to the roundabout slowly and carefully at a walking pace so your brain can physically think clearly about what is going on. We're in a car that can go up to 70 miles an hour legally. The car's capable of even more than that. We as human beings are sat in a machine that can take us far faster than our body is capable of. We are not going to be able to work out things well if we're going very, very fast when there's lots of information to take in. It's just not biologically possible for that to happen. When you come up to dangerous situations and hazards, we need to go slower so our judgment is good and we can make safe decisions about what's going on. We need to come down to walking pace because that's when our brain is going to be able to analyse situations properly. I remember years ago a student saying to me, oh, my friend was like, you know, doing 100 or whatever. You know, sometimes my students talk to me like this. Or my friend was doing 60 and a 30 like the other day, but he's a really good driver. You see, those two statements don't go hand in hand for me, okay? That nobody can drive, yeah, unless they've been trained to a high level of like Formula One where they can analyse things properly. A normal standard person, right, is not going to be a good driver if they're going fast up to hazards because biologically your brain can't work stuff out at speed. We need to go slowly up to our hazards. Fine, if you want to go quickly in between your hazards within the law, go fast in between hazards, but when you come down to your hazard, whether it's a turn, whether it's a roundabout, whether it's a complex junction, we must go down to walking pace so we can get our thinking time right, that we can get our judgment right, that we can make safe decisions where we're not going to have guess, luck and hope. So speed is the main thing. bring your speed down so you can analyse the roundabout, see the information, take it in and use it to your advantage, and maybe you won't have to stop if you do it like this, which would be fabulous, right? Complicated junction, coming up to it slowly, analysing, oh, I can go. If it's clear, second gear, yeah? Town roundabouts are probably going to be done in 1 and 2, whether it's open or closed. If it's open and you can see, we're going to attempt to use second. If it's closed, we're going to go to first. Now, obviously, if it's an open roundabout and you're approaching with second and you think, I can't go, then obviously you're going to stop and obviously you're going to go to first gear, of course, because something stopped you, okay? But when you're coming up to these roundabouts, we do need to slow down. Also, because there might be pedestrians about. There may even be other hazards to look for, right? Like pedestrians, bikes. Yeah, not only just the cars, okay? But my strong advice to you really is just go slowly up to these roundabouts so you can see these opportunities of going, right? This isn't a briefing video, and I've got to get to work actually in a minute, but you give way to the right, okay? So anybody coming from the right and coming round from, other exits that are coming round from the right, okay? So if you're giving way to the right and there's loads of people on the right, yeah, they're not going to just disappear, these people. So unless they're turning left, you're going to have to give way to them, yeah? So if you're going to be able to go and there's still people on the right, you're going to be wanting to look for something called a blocker. A blocker is any other car from any of the other exits that their final destination is your road. Because if that's the case, they're going to come round from whichever exit is, maybe the one ahead of you, maybe the one on the left. They're going to come round, come into your turn, and they're going to block the person on the right momentarily, and you're going to be able to come out. Blockers are absolutely essential that you know how they work. Now, I haven't got enough time to go through this now, plus my friend's got a drone and we're going to make a really cool video about blockers for you. I'm really excited, right? But for now, this silver car here is a blocker, okay? So this silver car has got no signal on. He's following the 12 o'clock theory. 8 times out of 10, you need to choose the left lane to go straight on. Yeah, 8 times out of 10. So any exit on the left and including 12 o'clock, you can be in the left lane. Anything after 12, 1 o'clock and then including 6 o'clock, you're in the right lane, okay? This silver car has told us on 2 different occasions that he is a blocker. First of all, he's in the left lane. And then second of all, he's not signalling. So we know he's in the left lane. He can either go left or straight, but he's got no signal on, which means he's a blocker. And what I mean by that is that silver car is going to come down. He's going to keep very much to his left like this. He's going to go down, block the brown car from coming out at some stage because the brown car gives way to his right, and then he would go down there. Now this is extremely useful to have that guy coming down like that and blocking the person on your right, because if you were the blue car and you were the only person trying to get out of the junction, that blocker who's coming down into that turn, the final destination is your exit, this blue car, you, would be able to think, ooh, I've got a blocker. I've got somebody from the other exit blocking the person that I directly need to give way to, and that gives me a chance to be able to come out and go. Blockers can come from across the other side on this occasion, or they can even come from here, going all the way round and coming out. When the blocker gets to the magical sort of 1 o'clock area here, the person would not come out. They would be bonkers to come out, right? Because they've got somebody directly next to them. So when the blocker gets to around about 1 o'clock there, either from straight in this example or from here when they get to about there, they're going to block the person from coming out, and then you can go. That is a very, very short description of what a blocker is. I need to make an official video about it with my drone, with my best friend, and make it really clear. But for now, anyone coming from any of the other exits whose final destination is your exit where you are, that's their final destination, which means you don't need to give way to them, but they will be blocking the person on the right. And that gives you an opportunity to go. Because really the thing, if there's people on the right, the only good thing that they can do is turn left, isn't it? And that gives you an opportunity to go if there's no one too close behind them, because that could be dangerous. If they turn left and then somebody zooms out from behind them, that's dangerous as well. You have to get the timing right. If you're going too fast, you're not going to be able to see all these things. Yeah, if you're going really, really fast and there's 5 exits to the roundabout, there's no way on the planet that you're going to be able to figure that out. You just can't. There's too much going on. You've got multiple exits to look at. You need to go slowly, get that information in your head, go down into second early enough so you can look at it all, work it out, and then go, yep, I got this. If it's clear, second gear, down into second, I can do this. Off you go in second. If you can't, fine, use first. Or if it's closed, of course, use first. I hope this mini description of blockers has been helpful and that the speed on approach has been noted, that you need to go slower on approach to roundabouts to read the roundabout and take all the information in. All right, guys, it's really important. When I've got my drone and it's going to be super exciting. I'll make the thumbnail like really obvious that we've used a drone, and I'll make a video about blockers with a drone. All right, it's going to be really cool. I'll see you on the next one, guys. I've got a dash to work. See you later. Hope it's been helpful.